Hey, we're live. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. Tonight we're playing Marvel Multiverse RPG. We have just been talking about how everyone here was a teacher's pet and was top of their class. And I've been quiet because honestly, I was a shitty student. My teachers hated me. And I think that tracks for how this is all going with this whole campaign. We
all skipped class our very first session.
Exactly. This role playing, you're living out your fantasy of what you couldn't do when you were in high school.
There you go.
We're playing in our own little Earth LOL, where mutants are the only people with superpowers, and our players have created their own original mutants who are still learning how to be heroes. They're getting the hang of it. Let's start off with Kipser. Who are you playing, and what are your superpowers?
I am playing Ashfall. She is the daughter of Richter and Shatterstar, who fell from Mojo World to this Earth 101. And she pulls up the Earth and likes to throw it at people.
And we got your incredible backstory last week. So if anyone wants to see that, go ahead, check out the YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell. Like the video, leave a comment and tell me how much you love me because I need the validation.
That part
Aaron,
is required.
You also have given us your origin story also on the YouTube. Who are you playing? What are your powers?
I am playing Jericho Wraith, the son of John Wraith, aka Kestrel, and his mother Silver Fox, original members of Team X, the CIA-backed Black Ops squad from the 70s. And his powers are much like his father. He is a teleporter with strong space and time-related abilities.
And that brings us to the very mysterious Melissa. We don't know much about Bijou yet. Who are you playing, Bijou? And what are your powers?
So Bijou is Ellen Humphreys, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Humphreys. And Bijou's powers are shrinking and further shrinking. And ranged weapon things like suppressive fire and sniping. And she can run real fast when she's small.
And then that brings us to Jeff. And Jeff has taken up the task of giving us his origin story tonight. And he told me multiple times in the past days and weeks that he's going to be about 2 hours or so with this story. So I didn't do any prep tonight. And Jeff, if you end early, you're just going to have to run the rest of the session because of that. So who are you playing and what's your origin story?
Yeah. So I did drop the trailer of my origin story in the Discord. And if anyone's ever seen the movie Vision Quest with Matthew Modine, that's basically his origin story. So just there we go. All right, back to you, Steven.
So that's the 2 hour. The 2 hour origin story is go watch the video.
Just go watch. Everyone,
let's just runtime on Vision Quest.
Let's just share. It's on Amazon Prime, right? I'm sure we could probably find it.
We won't get copyright strike for that. It's so old.
We can do it now.
It's
all through Amazon. We could do a share watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's do a stream watch.
All right.
You gonna get that set up now?
Sure. Fine. So Marshall Gloss. Marshall Gloss grew up in a fairly unremarkable home to fairly unremarkable parents. There were no aliens or assassins or superheroes like lurking in his lineage, nothing like that. Just a tire salesman for a father, a kindergarten teacher for a mother. And for most of his life, the whole mutant business was just somebody else's problem. He was an only child, but he was meant to be a twin. He didn't learn that little detail until he was in high school. He learned that some sort of biological process triggered while he was in the womb, and apparently he absorbed his would-be brother. When his parents eventually actually told him this, he cried. But his father was having none of that. Very tough man. And he said, "It's just nature, kid. Your brother lost and you won, and I won't tolerate losers in this family." And in truth, Marshall kind of already suspected that something was up because he never really felt alone in his entire life. In the back of his mind, there was always this other voice. Charlie is what he ended up calling it. When he was really, really young, it didn't really bother his mother so much, so it didn't actually bother him that there was this other voice in his head. And she just explained it away like it was the byproduct of being an only child, that he was an imaginary friend that was basically going to fade over time. But Charlie didn't fade. He actually grew louder and he grew more present. And Marshall did whatever he could to try to ignore the voice. And so he did what his mother told him to do. He made a bunch of real friends, actual and whole friends. He did what his father told him to do, which was win, win, win. And he played football and basketball, track and wrestling and all that kind of stuff. But all of this only seemed to make Charlie angrier and darker. And he rarely let or even still lets Marshall sleep. But when he does, the dreams that Marshall gets are fairly violent. They're kind of disturbing and they're all too real. And there was this moment where it kind of crossed Marshall's mind that at night, maybe when he was sleeping, Charlie kind of took over and did whatever deeds that Marshall kind of refused to let him do during the light of day. Now, Marshall's actual powers, the powers that we've witnessed so far, they kind of manifested in high school during a wrestling match. So his parents were in the stands. Charlie was quiet for once. And for a while, Marshall thought that his twin wasn't there. And that was only until he was very, very much there in a way that he'd never been before. He started to feel, Marshall, a pain in his side, in his abdomen. And it was like extremely acute that he doubled right over there on the mat. His opponent kind of hesitated, but then closed and tried to pin Marshall. But Charlie had other ideas. And that's when Marshall's ribs and his hip and his muscle and skin all started to stretch and stretch until this malformed shape burst through his singlet, and it elongated, it wrapped around his opponent, it squeezed until the other kid's bones started to crunch, and then it violently flipped the kid to the ground. After that, life was kind of a blur for Marshall as he started to lose friends and he started to kind of get isolated a bit. There was no more wrestling, at least not officially. He started to learn how to control some of his powers, to stretch and bend in all these like kind of unfathomable ways. And although he could kind of contort and reshape himself, he could never actually put Charlie back in the bottle, which is why he still kind of hangs from his side. The doctors really couldn't help. They found the mutant gene, of course. And Marshall can't really remember whether it was the doctors or his parents who actually blamed the gene for what actually happened in the womb and for what happened to Charlie. But either way, his parents absolutely believe that. And they believed it enough to send Marshall away to Xavier's school. And they believed it enough to adopt Marshall's replacement. And that was kind of a rough time for him. But he did focus on the positive, as was something he does try to do. He gained a brother, but his parents don't really allow much communication. And at Xavier's school, he met a bunch of other folks like him, including the folks we've been hanging out with. Colossus even took him under his wing for a little bit, showed him a thing too about fighting, about real fighting, not just play fighting. And Professor Xavier and Jean Grey have helped kind of keep Charlie quiet. But Professor Xavier isn't around at the moment. And lately, in this other world, Marshall can kind of feel Charlie back there in the recesses of their mind, kind of cackling a bit and just getting louder and louder each day.
Does Charlie have a mind of his own when it comes to controlling the appendages?
I don't know, man.
We're going to find out.
Hard to say.
Well, that leads us to previously on X-Men. Trapped in the year 2026 and infected with sinister Sentinel nanobots, our gifted graduates stumbled upon the secret clubhouse of a group of students known as the Hellions. And with the help of new gadgets and new friends, the graduates began planning their heist with the goal of breaking into Reverend Sinclair's office and stealing the nanobot cure, codename Elixir. Taking advantage of the strict security schedule, Bijou shrunk herself and hid in Purifier Reisman's belt pouch. With a well-timed electric shock from their new friend Surge, Bijou was able to hitch a ride through the security door into the administration offices. Once inside, another Hellion prodigy began hacking into the security terminals, while the graduates gained access to Sinclair's computer. Discovering that their elixir was locked away deep under the earth, the graduates began their slow descent into the belly of the beast. Taking a long elevator ride beneath the Stryker Institute, the graduates found their prize, a comatose teenager with golden hair and skin, imprisoned in Cerebro where no telepath could detect him. How will the graduates escape? Who is this golden child? Can he remove the nanobots? Will you recognize him? Call his name and walk on by? Rain keeps falling, down, 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 down. Hey. We are in Cerebro right now. You are on this walkway facing the center platform, and where all the terminals were, where you would know that like Xavier had hooked up to, and all the gadgets and gizmos, those have all been torn out. And in that circular platform, there is just a hospital bed with a lot of like equipment to monitor vitals, another machine that appears to be pumping some sort of chemicals into an IV. And on this bed is a teenager with golden skin and golden hair. He appears to be unconscious. There is an IV hooked up into him. There's no real movement whatsoever. You can see the vital signs, they're stable. What all are you doing?
Do we recognize Elixir from our own timeline?
No, you would not.
Okay.
Just like the Hellions, this is a character that would have been after your generation.
Should we just turn all the drugs off? Unplug them? Pull the IVs?
They might be supporting him. I don't know. We should just, do any of us know anything about anything when it comes to seeing what those things are and what we should do?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about any of this. But if nobody else can make an educated guess, then I think I'm with Luna. If we got to do something, if nobody has any idea, then I say we roll the dice and take a chance.
I
don't
mean,
know.
if the people upstairs think hooking them up to this stuff is a good thing, I think it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
And
I
Ashfall will step
agree.
forward and just start like looking for that little valve that turns off from the liquid to coming down the tubes and such.
And this is medical equipment, so most of it is very clearly labeled. They have symbols that are meant to be recognized no matter what language you're able to read. So you see like big red buttons that are clearly power off buttons, things like that. The IV, it's taped in, but there's nothing like really securing it. And you can absolutely just pull it out. It seems to be very standard equipment.
I'll leave the big red buttons for Stranglehold. I think he'd appreciate them.
So there's buttons I get to push. Is that what this is?
Yes.
Okay.
Turn off all the vital monitors and everything. Yeah.
Okay. And he will naturally not do it the simple way, and his arm will just kind of stretch a bit, and then he'll turn it off. Yeah. I mean, it would be wrong not to push a button, right? Like it was designed
It was red.
to be pushed.
Mm-hmm. Big red button.
Are you saying that if the designer puts it there, you're supposed to interact with it?
I think so.
I just want this. I want this to be clear for future sessions, maybe in different campaigns. Anyways.
I mean, if it's a button, yeah.
Buttons are meant to be pushed.
Did I
If it's
mention that this
like-
vitals machine says do not touch?
If it's an American ethics class, I don't know. I don't know if that's something we're supposed to interact with.
All right, so you start turning off the machines. The IV stops pumping whatever chemical is in. Right now, he's still hooked up to it. As soon as the vital sign goes dead, though, red lights start flashing throughout Cerebro. Klaxons start blaring. You've obviously set off some sort of alarm.
Jericho would pull the IV lines out of him and say, all right, we're going to have to get him out of here pretty fast. Obviously, they're going to be down here in a minute to find their golden child.
Yeah, literally. All right. Well, I'll make ramps where we need to make ramps and close doors with walls where we have to.
Fantastic. These damn nano sentinels have weakened my powers to the point I can't teleport him out of here or any of us, so we're going to have to do this the hard way.
Or the fun way. Depends on how you frame it.
You make a very good point, Una.
You start ripping out all the IVs, getting him ready to be moved. And then you hear the buzz of an intercom cutting through the klaxons. And you hear Prodigy's voice, your ally on the computer desk upstairs. What's going on?
We're rescuing a kid.
You set off some sort of alarm. We got to get out of here fast.
You
Working
get
on
out
it.
of here first if you have to.
You have another way out?
We'll make
Absolutely
one.
not. Well, we'll make one.
Big
I mean-
hole in the wall.
Are you like still on the computer and everything?
Yeah, I can still see all the cameras.
Can you like shut a few of them off and like give us like a path out or something?
I'll see what I can do. And you hear the clicking of keys and the intercom goes dead. You grab up Elixir. It's going to take one of you to hold him at least. He's a grown teenager, so he's a lot of dead weight. He's going to be heavy to move, but you all are strong enough, you're fit enough that one of you can carry him. Looking around Cerebro, there's only one way in and out, and it's that elevator that you just took down at least 10 stories. It was a long ride down.
Stranglehold will take him, and he will use his additional limb to wrap him around. Just so you just see Charlie stretch out and just loop around him.
Really hope he doesn't wake up.
He'll be fine.
Wait, don't we want him to wake up so he can like help us and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to explain a couple things
'cause
to him.
He's wrapped up.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, I'm sure he's seen worse. He's obviously been through worse down here in this hellhole. So let's get in the elevator, get up, and be prepared. If they stop us halfway, we're gonna have to make our own way up.
Okay.
Agreed. Let's get
The
out of
five
here.
of you pile into this elevator, Charlie holding on to Elixir, the rest of you making room around it. It's a decent size elevator. There's room for you all. And then you hit the button. There's only one button to go up. You don't choose a floor. And it starts to go. The doors close. And as the doors close, the klaxons begin to fade. And on the way up, that elevator music begins to play for this very slow ascent. What is going through your minds right now as you're hearing this boring jazz music just softly playing in the background, not knowing what these doors will open to?
Jericho's worked for a couple of years as a mercenary under the reformed Team X, so he's thinking tactical solutions. He's like, we got to be ready. If those doors open and there are forces out there, we've got to move in such a way to disrupt their lines of fire, and we've got to put them down, at least knock them out and get somewhere they don't expect us to be. Maybe back to the tunnels, maybe back to that secret meeting room that the other kid showed us. What do you
Be full
think?
size. I'll be ready to shoot lasers at them.
What if Okay, so Stranglehold will get to the front. So if the doors open, if anything's there waiting to attack them, he'll be there to take it. He'll kind of shift Elixir with Charlie kind of off to the side, like behind the elevator door. And so he's just kind of staying there. And then he just kind of starts to use his like flexible bones. So if he's still trying to figure out how to kind of flatten his body out, but he hasn't quite like whatever this, it's just not quite letting him. But he's essentially just trying to kind of grow and flatten and just kind of give them just that extra bit of armor to, that extra bit of moment in case there's something like ready to fire at us.
If necessary, I'll
imagining-
teleport into their midst and try to disrupt them from the middle or behind.
Are you sure you don't want me to stand in front? Because I can take the first hit and not take any damage. Like, they can't. I'll just throw up earth.
It's not like they can actually hit me. I mean, they're not very strong.
True.
Have you noticed?
I haven't seen anything really hit us in a really long time.
All right, and that's
I've
our
been
session,
hurt.
folks. It's fun. Do we want to do some shout outs?
Sorry, yeah,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
right, Bijou. I did miss one person got through to you.
The door's open and Onslaught standing there is like, all right.
Okay. After you,
So-
Ashfall.
You go through your tacticals, you get set up in a formation as best as possible. I'm imagining Stranglehold, your torso is doing like a 360, where like Charlie is now twisted to the back, and then
Yeah.
everyone else can just kind of see how your leather jacket is shifted with you.
Mhm.
you are bracing yourself. The anxiety is building as this elevator is slowly rising, and you think you're almost there when it lurches to a stop. Everyone kind of goes for a shake, and the lights just completely shut off. The power is completely cut off right now, and you are in this elevator.
Time to go through the roof. We gotta.
Yeah. All right.
So Bijou will kind of get smaller and then just say, like, somebody throw me up.
Yeah. And then he'll hold out his hand just for you to hop into it and just stretch arm up to the top of the vents.
Bijou, you're able to work open that vent. You don't have to push it that far up because you're like action figure size at this point. So you just slide through the cracked ceiling, and you can look up and you see the actual doors to get out of here are maybe 6-7 feet above you. Right now, you are so close to the top of this elevator shaft. In fact, if you were played by Emilio Estevez, you might be kind of nervous looking up at the elevator shaft, knowing how close you are to the ceiling.
You'd probably just miss if you tried to hit me with them.
So Bijou will kind of get back to like full size so that she can kind of lift the vent open and just say, like, all right, everybody, the door's right there. Come on
You're
up.
able to pull each other up. And I'm going to need a melee check to try and get those elevator doors open. Unless you have a way to climb up there easily, we'll be with trouble.
I can do
I'll
that.
just teleport to the other side of the doors and try to open them from the stable platform on the outside. Unless there's somebody there, and then I may teleport right back. We'll see.
I can also just pull up an earth barrier as a floor for us.
So we've got 3 different powers being utilized because Stranglehold, I know you started to say something there.
No, I can't. I mean, like, if there's a melee check, Stranglehold's all down. He's always down for that, but he'll wait for Wraith because Wraith is. Even still, Wraith is probably going to see if the coast is clear or something like that, and then once Wraith does that, then Stranglehold will rip it open if necessary.
Wraith, give me that melee to try and pry these doors open. These are security doors for an elevator, so they're a bit more difficult. We're going to say you're shooting for a 12.
Well, so I teleported to the other side of the doors to see if there's anybody waiting for us.
You've seen that before. Already.
Exactly.
Yeah, my bad. I misunderstood. Yeah, you teleport, and it's pitch black darkness as well. You hear the soft breathing, almost panicked breathing of Prodigy, but it's pitch black. You can't see anything right now.
Okay. Then I will turn back to the doors and attempt to open them. I do not have any special ability to help with this, so we're just going to see how it goes.
Prodigy is going to be panicked once he hears you shuffling around. With the way your power works, you said your actual teleportation is very quiet noise.
Yep.
So I don't think he would have picked up that. But once you start going towards the elevator and trying to move, he would hear that and call out to you. Once he figures out who you are, he can help you as well. So you can take an edge for that.
Okay. All right, fantastic. So I will trying to see if you can. Nope. Okay. 6, a 1, and a 4. I'll re-roll the 1, get a 3, 10, 13, plus 1, 14.
14. You needed a 12, so you got it. So the 3 of you on top of this elevator, you can just hear the grinding of metal on metal as these gears are being forced to turn. They can't get the doors all the way open, but they can get them enough for people to start sliding through. And they're able to help. Like I said, it's only 6-7 feet up. So arms reaching down, you all jumping up, you're able to get through these elevator doors. And you are now in the security room that is pitch black. Prodigy tells you that he doesn't know what happened. He was just trying to go through the system, going through cameras when everything shut off. And he reminds you that with no power, that security door to leave the administration offices will not open.
Like, okay. Does this room Is there an exterior wall?
This room is in the interior of the building. Here, I can pull up the map.
Because Stranglehold will have no problem just trying to bash away at a wall and see if we can, like, just punch a hole in this.
Prodigy, did our friend in the other office leave, hopefully before the power went out?
I believe so. I'm not sure. I heard doors opening, but I locked this door so no one could get in, so I could try to help you guys.
Okay. Smart.
Stranglehold, there is an exterior wall here, but again, this is a security, a very secured room. So it's going to be very difficult to break through. Let me pull up my quick reference here. We're going to call this ridiculous, which is 14 plus your rank. So 16 is what you would need to start breaking through. And it'll take time as well.
I will attempt it as I will just, with like his fists will just kind of... I'll say that they'll kind of grow a bit as he's still sort of, kind of flexing a little bit. He'll just kind of shift a bunch of the skin and the tissue of his arm down towards this fist and kind of create this is almost like a sledge. And yeah, he'll swing. He'll go for a 16. I think he can.
So can I help him? I'll use my standard action to help him, and I'm envisioning that he's using his ability to, like his flavored venom blast, but it's actually, he's teleporting fragments away, microscopic fragments. He's just trying to weaken the structure so I can give him an edge on his roll.
Yeah. Give him an edge.
Okay. 1 sec. That's a 21.
Okay, so that's not enough. I said it was 16 plus another 16. So that's actually a 32 is what you needed. So you were close, but not quite. No.
So close. So close.
Stranglehold just begins bashing away at this. And you break through the plaster easily enough to find metal that is reinforced behind it. You don't see like wooden studs or anything like that. You also know the exterior of this building is brick. So it's going to take you some time, but you are making solid progress. You can still hear klaxons blaring, not from in this room, but from outside in like the halls of the Institute. And every now and then, the only light you really have here, because none of you have cell phones or any devices like that, and all the power's off in the room. The only light you have is the occasional surge of electricity left over from your friend Surge. Stranglehold, last session, you used a fantastic success to say that the electricity is still going, and that ripples through every now and then just enough that you can see what progress you're making. You also occasionally hear like the click of a lock, like it begins to want to open from electricity, but it never actually does. And again, you're just bashing through, and it's taking some time. Jericho, you are helping. Ashfall and Bijou, what are you two doing as they're trying to break through here?
I would say that Bijou would be trying with her, kind of laser shot to see if she can kind of also assist in this process of kind of trying to break through. So sort of like an alternation, of like punch and, kind of Wraith doing his deterioration. And then, kind of she's kind of grasping her bracelet to her necklace and just kind of shooting it and just trying to continue to weaken this.
Absolutely. And your energy blasts are just, especially with the metal, they're softening it by heating it up a little bit, making it easier for Stranglehold to punch through as well. Ashfall, what are you doing?
They're all concentrating on that. Ashfall is going to go to the door and listen and guard and make sure we're not going to get hit from behind quite so unaware.
Give me a vigilance.
It is the opposite of Bijou, who is clueless, where whenever she's focused on, she is unaware of anything else.
Oh, dear. All right, let me just do a quick vigilance check here.
Ashfall, I'll say you can get an edge 2 from Prodigy because he's not doing anything else either. So he would stay by the door with you.
Nice.
Especially with that electricity surging through, he would try to be figuring out something with the lock.
don't know how to reroll on Demiplane yet, so I'm just going to roll another d6.
If you look at the dice, there's like the dice window. There's a reroll in the upper right hand corner of the dice window.
Is
And
that
then
the
you-
whole thing, or
Yeah, you
just one
click
of them?
on the little thing in the bottom left where the dice little window comes up. You hit reroll, and then you select which die you want to reroll, and then you click it again.
Okay, I'll do that next time. I've got a 5, 6, 6. So that would be an 18.
18. I should have given you trouble for the klaxons, but 18 is pretty darn good. So we're going to go with it. We'll just say that I raised the difficulty. Instead, it all works out. So, you know what? You're right. Just take the trouble and I'll still raise the difficulty. That sounds better.
It would have been 15 on the original roll because the edge and the trouble would have canceled each other out.
I'm just teasing. You don't need to have math to back yourself up. All right. You're going to beat everything I throw at you anyways. Like,
Do you want to try to hit me again? Let's see how
The
that
wall-
goes.
the metal door is incredibly thick, from passing through it. And the klaxons are blaring on the other side, but there's also moments of quiet in between. And you're paying attention. You can hear a lot of movement outside. And just thinking back to the day before where you heard similar alarms from also when you set off a bit of a
We're
ruckus.
so young and innocent, though.
You know that these
We're
students,
so sweet.
they don't evacuate the way most schools do when there's an alarm. They actually have to go to their dorms. They have to go inside. So it's pretty safe to say that there is just a large crowd of students that are filing towards their dorms right now on either side of this door. The main stairs come up very close to this door, and then they have to turn left or right to go to either wing to get to their dorms. Likely there's movement of purifiers as well. You just can't tell the difference between student footsteps or purifier footsteps. There's a lot of movement, but you don't know how much of it's directed towards you. You are breaking at this wall, and it's slow going. You're using flexible fists as a sledgehammer to break through this. You have the energy blast from Bijou warming it up, making it softer, and you see dents. Jericho, you've teleported away most of the plaster in the rubble at this point, but you're waiting on metal bits to break off now, which takes even longer. It's happening. It's slow. Stranglehold, your hands are bruising. I don't know how bruises work for you, but they're definitely getting sore and injured just from the repeated bashing. Till finally, you bend one of these metal pieces enough that the rivets pops out, and you can get you flatten your hand and you turn it into a bit of a crowbar, and you just start pulling and bending. You get an entire panel off. That allows you to get another panel. And after a long time of just no real progress, you're finally able to make forward momentum here. And you're at the brick exterior, which I believe Ashfall would be pretty good at manipulating as well. So you can use your earth abilities to start pushing the brick away and crushing it till finally you have an opening about person sized. You can look out onto the school grounds. It's still midday. It's completely bright outside, and you see those sentinels. You see at least one of them is powered up again. They've been on high alert ever since, and the energy beam on their hand is glowing as if it could fire at a moment's notice. It does not appear that they've noticed you yet. There's a good chance they'll be coming for you soon. What all are you doing?
My vote is we get out of here, try not to hit the anti-sentinel button unless we have to, and see if we can't then loop back into the dorms and hide with the kids.
If we think we can do that, do we
I'm
think we're
afraid
gonna
some
get
of these.
seen?
I'm afraid some of the other kids might turn us in. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw what that one. He drank the Kool-Aid completely. So
Yeah,
Such a
Victor.
narc.
Victor, yeah, maybe we'd be better off trying to get back into the tunnels.
That would probably require us to use the sentinel button to get across the yard then. That's a one time. But we've got the elixir. So maybe we don't need to come back. Hey, Prodigy, feel like a field trip?
I don't want to be left here. Hellion is the one with the disruptor for the Sentinels. We left it in our dorm room because he reminds you it's like the size of a milk crate. It's a large device.
Well,
does Hellion want to go with us, or is he staying here?
I
Wait,
think they
I'm
all
sure he'd be
want
happy to go with, but he's on the other side of the door.
So we gotta go. We gotta get into the dorm then.
well, Wraith, you've been in like the dorm. Can't you just?
Oh, I can
teleport
get there.
and
I can get there by myself. Absolutely.
Can you teleport?
I can get there
back with the
tiny.
device.
Probably not.
Oh.
I used to be able to, but I'm a lot weaker now.
Yeah, I
Can
know
you
that
just
feeling.
teleport over there and do the device, and then we just catch up with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I could
divide and
just like
conquer.
1v1 the Sentinel, though. I think.
No.
Absolutely. Stranglehold, you're a beast. If anybody could do it, it's you. Jericho's like, he's like, I'm not serious. This is a bad idea. You really should not do this.
He'll believe you, Wraith.
That's why I said, I was like, I saw the look on his
Colossus
eyes when he
taught
was
me some
believing it.
tricks. You know, like
Yeah.
he told me how I can take him down, and like he wouldn't. Like
Colossus can curl a sentinel. I don't think you're there yet.
it. Yeah, that's true. Maybe
Someday,
Maybe
though.
when my
Someday,
powers
Someday.
get strong
It's
again.
the little sentinels in our bloodstream that's really screwing you up.
All right, so I'll teleport to the other side of the door, make my way into the dorms, tell
Push
Hellion
button.
we're gonna leave, hit the button to fry the sentinels momentarily. We get
Yeah.
together, we did him out.
If the Hellions want to join us, that's great. You can tell them that we have the elixir.
I think it's just Hellion, not the Hellions. But
It seems like a the in front of everything these days.
it's a good point.
Hellion
The
did name the
in-kid
group
thing.
Hellions.
Yes, he did
So
say
he
that's
did
what
name him after himself.
I know.
And that's actually from the comics. I did
No,
not
I
create
know,
that
man.
myself. I ripped that from the comics. Just a reminder, you all can still use Rock Slide, Dust, and Hellion for tasks. So Jericho, if you teleport back, you can have one of them set off the Sentinel device for you as you come back, and it can be any of those three that you'd like.
Yeah, they want to come with us though, right?
You have not specifically talked about an exit plan, have you? You guys can retcon and say you have, because we said that you came up with the plan ahead of time.
Yeah.
We're coming from where we are to the tunnels magically. This is happening. We're going from where we are into the tunnels.
The way
Details,
it
details.
the way it stands right now is that you four are the ones that are really wanted by the Purifiers, and the Hellions aren't too concerned about escaping now because they've been here a while. So they're not necessarily scared for their lives, but they would like, a cure for the nanobots. They want to help you guys. They want to cause as much trouble as possible. Whether you take them or not, that's up to you. It could make it much more difficult to get away with the bigger group, but it's not impossible.
Or they're cannon fodder. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
No.
No.
What?
So,
Hey, I'm a mercenary. I don't know what to say.
Outside, like, what else do I see? Like, on the ground or anything? Like, vehicles,
You're looking at the back of the
machinery?
grounds, so
Okay.
you don't see the driveway or anything like that. You just see most of like the field and very well kept trees, things like that. You're probably about 200 yards away from the back fence
Okay.
if you want to leave the property. And if you'll remember, there's a good chance that the group Purity, the humans that aren't part of the Purifiers, but they take it upon themselves to patrol these walls now. There's a good chance
Right.
there will be some of them past there. They're not going to be threats to you or anything like that.
Right.
but
I
they're
don't even
another
think
obstacle.
the Sentinels are. I'm pretty sure I could take one. However, like
They go up in rank every time you say that.
I'm telling you, I feel like I can take
Sentinels
one
are
out.
rank 6
Two?
now.
I don't know. I still think I could take one. At the base,
You can
of
only
the,
see one from here, but there are at least
I
3
know
watching
that,
the building.
and that's why Stranglehold's not being rash. Is there anything like in the immediate area, like within reach of my stretchy arm?
There would be like the landscaping directly down below, various bushes, small trees, shrubs, rocks, basic landscaping. What are you looking for?
Anything heavy?
How heavy? Like brick heavy or like bench heavy?
Like bus heavy?
There is no bus immediately in the
What's the
landscaping next to the
closest
building.
weight thing to a bus? Is it a tree? I can do a
Probably
tree.
a tree nearby. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just kind of, I think Stranglehold just wants to kind of sneak his arm down and just pick the tree up and throw it and just see what the Sentinel does. Just out of curiosity. I'm just testing defenses.
You just want to rip a tree out of the ground from the second floor and
Right.
throw it. A
Which I
well-grown
think
tree
I
with
can do.
roots.
I think I can do.
I think you can too, unfortunately. That's what hurts me. I think this counts as absurd, which is your rank plus 16.
I want to stress a few things. You said a small tree, and also I have might too, which means I can lift a bus. So
Yep.
I think I can
I
do
did
it.
say small tree. However, I have pulled small trees out of the ground, and they are a pain in the ass.
I
But
have
a bus,
a bus.
a bus is a lot.
I think a bus is
Are
heavier.
you
I think a bus
are
is
you a
heavier.
secret superhero?
Are you,
All right. You know what?
Are
You
you
got me
Bruce
with the
Willis
argument. I'm
from
going to bump it
Unbreakable?
from absurd down to ridiculous. All right. So
Okay.
you need a 16 for this to just rip a tree out of the ground.
All right, 16's nothing. I can do 16
I know.
all day.
The
I really can.
18 is the most I can give you with these rules.
I think
If
Can
it's not
I-
impossible, it's an 18.
Can I give him the help action because I have an enhanced physique, which allows me to be stronger than a regular human? Oh, great. Thank you.
We're gonna break Steven.
I'm going to say no because you can't reach the tree.
I know. All right. I'll pull,
If you
I'll
would've
pull
said you-
Stranglehold. We'll Stranglehold.
You can
pulls
hold
the
him around
tree.
the waist and
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
him
yeah, yeah.
steady.
There we go.
Now, if you were
Uh,
saying that you were using your elemental abilities to move the earth to loosen the tree, I would have said yes. But no, you didn't say
It's
that.
okay. It's
So he gets
okay.
trouble.
I got this with an 18.
Okay.
You
Perfect.
I'm really strong. That's like
I
my
know you
guy's
are. I know
thing.
you are.
That's
It's
just
great.
what he is.
Describe it. It happens. Describe it exactly
So-
how you want it.
Just like a snake coming down, just kind of sneaking out, and I want his arm to wrap around the tree, and I just want him to wrench it free and just kind of throw it really far away, like kind of almost not perpendicular, almost parallel to the to the building. So like it's like assuming like we were going to escape perpendicular from this hole, I'm going to throw it parallel. So in case the Sentinel charges after it or if it shoots after it, I'm just kind of curious. It's just a test. I'm just hurling it as far as I can.
How far do you think you can throw a tree?
I am very strong, Steven. I have might too. I have spin and throw.
No, I'm talking about
So,
your character, not you. I've seen you in person. I know you're strong. I've seen the muscles.
I don't know the mechanics for throw, but
City
I would
block.
say pretty far. I would say pretty far.
City block.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you look at other the characters in here that have might too, and the feats they've done in the comic books, I would say a block.
Okay. I'm not fighting you on this one. I just wanted your actual guess here.
I've thought
No,
about throwing
that's
it.
not-
I really thought about throwing it at the Sentinel, but I don't think people are on board with me picking a fight with the Sentinel. So
I'm totally on board with it. You're gonna
I
die,
really
but I'm
want
totally
to
on
do it
board.
so bad. I really want
You
to
have
do
another
it.
character. No, don't do
I have
it.
a couple of in mind.
We can say that you make it all the way to the fence if you'd like. And
Okay.
your tree bashes into the metal fence with the shrubs that are growing into it. So it's difficult to pass through, but it's not incredibly sturdy. And your tree definitely puts a dent into it. And you see sentinels begin to track and they move. You hear some sort of transmission coming from the sentinel. You can't really make it out because with the opening in the wall, you can hear the klaxons much more loudly. So you see the sentinel start to move that way, but it doesn't appear to find you at all. Perhaps because you're still in the building, it's not really able to track you properly.
And does as they move away, does it leave like a moment where we could just,
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, I was just curious. It's all
It was the
right.
least trustful absolutely I've ever heard in my life.
No,
I
there's
say
a moment.
I
The
say we
sentinel's
go
turning
for
the
it.
other way.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's charge. You got to charge an ambush. That's you get, move through the fight. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Out the window we go, or out the
I don't
hole.
think this counts as an ambush. Like if two bank robbers get into the vault and then they're leaving, I don't think it counts as an ambush when the cops are like waiting for them to come out.
If you're the bank robbers, you feel ambushed. I think it's a perspective thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree with this.
Mhm. Yep. Aaron's right.
All right, so you're going for it. You can get from the second floor easily enough with all your powers. I do want a stealth if you're trying to be stealthy, or agility if you're trying to be fast about it. If you're pairing off, we'll say 2 checks. If you want to move as a group, it's going to be 1 check, but it's going to probably have some trouble associated with it because there's 4 of you.
So stealth is still agility, right? Like, aren't they? You
Yeah,
said
so
stealth
either agility or agility.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm used to too many other games.
How do you add an edge if we were to have an edge?
It's a
How do you
reroll.
do that?
It's a reroll.
It's a reroll.
Oh, okay.
Which is that little
Yeah,
red.
we're doing demi play. We're
Figuring
messing
it
around
out.
demi play tonight for the first time because the
Oh, I
character
rolled
stuff
a
just came out today.
9.
I got a 15 on my agility check.
What do I spent something to reroll, right?
You can spend is it karma?
Karma is what you have to spend after the roll.
After.
You can spend an audience die before you roll.
Yeah, I forgot. So I rolled a 9.
So you can spend a karma or 5 audience dice for a karma.
I will. I'm not sure how much karma I have, so I'm going to spend 5 audience dice for a karma.
You should have 2. I don't think you've used karma very much at all.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We haven't slept
Earlier.
yet, so
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to re-roll. And can I re-roll all of them?
Just 1.
Just 1. Well, phooey.
How else did
I
everyone
got another 9.
How did everyone else do?
I got a
Well.
15.
I got a 13 with a fantastique.
Oh, all right. And what'd you end up with, Bijou?
I still ended up with a 9.
Okay.
This is what happens when I re-roll dice this week.
Ashfall, Jericho, you two are making it just fine. Stranglehold and Bijou start to fall behind. Ashfall, how do you want that fantastic success to appear here?
If I notice that Bijou is falling behind, if she's small enough, or even before she starts shrinking, because I have an enhanced physique, so I can actually pick up and carry a weight class higher than myself, I will just pick up Bijou.
All right. You grab Bijou, and the 3
And
of
I hope
you.
she shrinks.
I'll shrink.
Is she
so
a weight
you
class
do
higher? Is this a weight joke here? You need her to shrink so you can
Ouch.
carry her?
Man, that's mean.
that.
Wow.
Kipser said it. I'm trying to understand.
No, your interpretation on what I said is from your own perspective there.
Okay, we need to stop talking about
Reflective more
perspective.
on
It's going to
you
get me in
than
trouble.
me.
I'll get smaller anyway, just so that it's just easier to pocket and run.
The 3 of you start going. However, Stranglehold, you're falling behind. What is it that's holding you back? Why are you not keeping up with the group?
I'm carrying elixir.
Which
I'm
might
just
be the
trying-
most important part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So the 3 of you, you get about 50 yards ahead of Stranglehold. You're making good progress across the grounds here.
I rolled a 12. They're 50 yards ahead of me.
Excuse me, you needed a
difference?
14. You needed a
Ashfall
14.
rolled a 13.
But I got a
She got a fantastic success, though. I guess that's a fantastic failure.
That's not a fantastic
Fantastic
success. That's a fail.
Did I just
Failed.
shrink myself and
Oh.
put myself in the pocket of the person that's doing the
Yeah.
worst on this?
No, you
Not
failed,
worse.
but something
Not
good
worse.
still happens. I mean, you failed,
Yeah.
but
okay,
there's a
okay.
benefit.
Oh yeah, but I
Reworking this.
I'll
Jericho.
throw Bijou towards Jericho.
Okay, and with your fantastic failure, you throw Bijou and you just end up spiking her right into the ground.
Ow!
Steven,
Steven is feeling salty tonight.
today. Jeez.
Jericho is bamfing ahead of the rest of you. Stranglehold, you're carrying another person, and you're falling behind. Ashfall, you thought you were doing okay, but then you took the time to grab Bijou, and that just slowed you down even more. You're holding her, you didn't spike her. Bijou, you were not able to keep up whatsoever, but you are with Ashfall. So the three of you and Elixir are there. Prodigy, we're going to say, is keeping up with Jericho. And that's when you're spotted by the purifiers. You see them probably 50 yards away from you. They're a good distance away. And you hear them start yelling for you, telling you to halt and stop. And that is when we are going to go into initiative. And for the audience here, I had them pre-roll initiative because I knew we would be getting to a fight here at some point. And Wraith actually rolled a fantastic success on initiative here. So he gets a surprise round to himself. Wraith, you're going to spot these purifiers before they even spot you. What are you doing?
How far away are they?
50 yards. We'll say they're 50 yards.
Okay, so they're not within any kind of reasonable range then for
10 spaces ish.
Okay. Yeah. I don't really have anything to do. I don't think I've got the range to use anything. Oh, I've got 10 spaces. Okay. So as I'm looking back, I will use my standard action to do that spatial lock, which is the flavored version of web casting on one of these enemies as they're approaching, to lock them in place. Okay, so that's a agility check, a ranged attack. I got a 17, and that is against, it's a ranged attack, so against their agility or vigilance.
Defense score for them is 12.
Okay, so it hits. So the enemy is paralyzed. It was not a fantastic success, so they're just paralyzed. They're not pinned. In order for him to break free, he's got to roll a 20 on his melee to break free on his turn. And that would be his standard action. With my move action...
However, before that goes off, I get a reaction, which this is something that Ashfall would be used to. As your ability starts going towards them, you know what? No, you got a fantastic success with surprise. They don't notice you yet, so they're not going to be able to react. I'm sorry. So
okay.
That goes off. One of them is frozen. And then you said your movement.
Yeah, I will. I'll save my reactions, and I just move my movement speed towards the fence.
Okay. And that brings us to the top of the first round. And Wraith, you also rolled highest on this, so you're going again.
I will try to freeze another one in place.
Okay, they are now aware of you this time with that surprise attack. So you go ahead and make your attack, and then they'll be doing a reaction.
And then I'll react to their reaction. I got an 18 and a fantastic success. Marvel die.
Nice. All right. And they are using their elemental protection. Trigger when they are attacked or otherwise in danger. You did attack them. They protect themselves with their element. So they have these stun guns. And as your stasis comes towards them, their stun gun actually emits a flare like an electrical shield that absorbs any attack against them that does 10 points of damage or less is instantly absorbed. And the protection continues.
This isn't against... They don't do damage with this, so it will go through your elemental protection. It's just...
Technically, that's less than 10 damage.
It's a rules
but I get what
off.
you're saying.
Look at the rules.
Just said in chat, we're mutants being mutanty, and we are seeing who can out-mutant the other mutant.
Yeah.
See?
Go for it. Yeah. I'm going to spend the focus on it. Anyways, he's attempting to get the effect off. But like you said, you've got stasis powers. It'll go right through the electricity. It'll stun him. How do you want that fantastic success to happen here?
I'd like to stun a second person with it, so have 3 of them frozen in place.
There are
What do you
only
think?
2 purifiers right now.
Oh, well, there's just the 2 of them. For the fantastic success, when he spatially locks, he drops his stun gun.
Absolutely. So he is now disarmed, frozen in place. And that brings us to Stranglehold.
For my movement, I just move.
Okay.
I
so you
move,
are
and
getting-
then with one of my reactions, I blink a further movement ahead. So I'm 3 movements ahead now.
All right. They are incredibly far away from you, and you're still heading towards the fence. Stranglehold, you are up.
Okay. How far away am I from these stun purifiers?
They were 50 yards from Wraith, so I'm going to say at least 75 from you.
Okay.
So 15 steps, 15 spaces.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. And how far away am I from the fence?
Still a good distance away.
Okay.
30, 40-ish.
Okay. Are there any more small trees around?
Yes, there are plenty of small trees. It's Xavier's Institute. The groundskeeping isn't as nice as it was when you went to school here, but it's still there.
Okay. Can I sort of just want to throw a tree at them. Can I just uplift a tree and throw it at them,
Go for it.
Steven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you want me to roll on that?
Agility to throw.
Okay. All right. Not my best stat. But
Would you
I'll
like
try
an
it anyway.
audience edge before you roll?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
It's very kind of you. Good thing I took that. All right, because that's not a good roll. Wait. Okay. Okay, that's a 15 on the reroll. Otherwise, that was going to be a fail.
That's a
Nice
hit.
audience.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
All right, so he just reaches out. So he's just running slow and plodding because he is a big dude. He's like 6'4". His size. He's very, very big. There's a lot of meat to him. And so Charlie, his little appendage, is wrapped around Elixir, and he sees that they're not going to outrun this. They haven't stealthed. The stealth has failed. Wraith is now stunned the 2. And while they're kind of stunned, he's like, they're sitting ducks. And he just reaches out, rips up a tree, and hurls it.
Their agility defense, by the way, is 10 when they're paralyzed. So,
Okay. Good to know.
All right, so this is agility damage.
Yes, it would be.
Okay. In that case, it's only...
but you
You know what?
get a +1 damage multiplier because it's a big tree.
Okay.
Get the +1 damage, and because you're throwing it, I'll let you do your melee damage.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, so I can enter in the damage reduction if you have some. I can do that for you.
Oh no,
Like,
purifiers
to
don't have damage reduction. They're wearing just cloth robes.
Okay. Okay, this is not rolling correctly. Actually, no, wait, what am I doing? I should already have done damage. What am I talking about? Yeah, because so it's 6 times 4, so 24 plus 5, so 29 points of damage. What am I talking about? Like, you go off the Marvel die. I don't know, there's no rolling.
Yeah, it's a little tiny print on the bottom.
Yeah, I totally forgot. My bad.
This purifier is just knocked off their feet. They're frozen in the stasis, but they go flying by this tree. It knocks them out of that temporal anomaly that Wraith created, and they're just crushed under the weight of this small tree. You hit them very, very hard.
And then I'll just like whatever basic movement I can, kind of still do. I'll do that, plodding in my direction towards the gate. Okay, that's a strike. Baseball wasn't my best sport, Ashfall, but I was still pretty good.
I believe in you. You got it.
You see Jericho, as he's blinking away, turns and gives you the double thumbs up before he disappears again.
As he's running backwards.
Stranglehold gives the quadruple thumbs up and accidentally drops Elixir on the ground.
Oh,
Picks him back.
Bijou, you were up. I believe you were tiny and being held by Ashfall, which is not helping you right now. But what are you doing?
You can drop if you want.
So Bijou, this is going to look super cool, and I'm sure I'm going to fail the roll. But Bijou is kind of like in her hand, and so Bijou's like, just run. I'm slowing you down, and so she's going to jump out. And while she does that, before she hits the ground, she's going to like clasp bracelet to lock it and shoot beams at these people and see what you can do.
All right. And like Aaron said, their agility is 10 is all you need to hit right now. And Ashfall, you're on deck.
Holy crap, I rolled a 20. Ultimate fantastic.
oh my God, that's triple damage.
Oh.
I do have sniping, which means that they take triple damage just on a fantastic success anyway. So
Oh, wow.
That's still.
Go ahead and make it quadruple then. Let's make it a real bonus.
So now I'm gonna
Ellen's a
have to
killer.
so the number down here is 40, which I think is currently
So-
doing.
Marvel die should be so 40
Marvel
if
die
it's
is
quadrupled
6.
then. Did that double it
Yeah,
or did it
that
quadruple?
would be tripling it.
The 40 is double or triple?
The 40 is
What's your multiplier?
My usual modifier is 3.
3.
And your bonus
so
ability?
6
2.
times 3, 8
Times 2.
So that's just 1. So you're doing 80 damage if you quadruple that.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, all right then.
Are you going for the one that was hit by the tree or the one that has not been hit yet?
Bijou would not normally have been confident in her abilities, so she would go for the one that was already hit.
All right, describe how you're taking them out.
So yeah, she is like jumping from Ashfall's hand, like down onto the ground, and she's just sort of like, wee. She's just kind of like holding on to that, just hoping that she doesn't like hurt herself when she falls down to the ground. So you just kind of see the beam go out. She's tiny. Her voice suggests, and she goes tiny.
You hear the wee, and then the massive concussive blast from this bracelet that just completely disintegrates the tree and the purifier. We were talking about the boys earlier. This is just the boys' gore, just an explosion of splinters and blood everywhere because you hit this guy so hard. Even if he was at full health, you would have killed him with an 80. So there's just a crater left where this purifier was, and you still hear the wee as she lands on the ground.
And then I turn around with my speed run and I start running in the other direction.
What's your movement on your speed run?
Pretty fast.
It's just multiplying rank by run speed, so it's just run speed times 2.
Okay, so you get twice as fast as most everyone else. All right.
Yeah.
Wraith, you are still way ahead. But Bijou, even with your Wii, you're running right past Stranglehold carrying Elixir. Is there anything else?
Nope.
No? Okay. Ashfall, you are up. I'm going to give you a trouble here because of your fantastic failure before. So anything you're doing, you're still having trouble getting your footing. You're very distracted by Bijou jumping off and just obliterating someone in front of you. What's your plan?
Well, it sounds okay. How many people are still there after the giant crater from the
There is
tiny...
one frozen purifier.
All right. Well, it sounds like I ought to use Elemental Blast because it gives me an edge, which will cancel out that trouble that someone is so disingenuously trying to give me for no reason right now.
I should also mention, I'm going to ignore the shade. I should also mention that there are sentinels that have not been jammed around here. They're not within range right now, but they're still very active because no one went to shut them off.
Bijou will just one-shot them. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll all take them and curl them into little balls, apparently. We're just going to get rid of the humans first and then deal with the mechs later. Apparently. Elemental Blast is in a sort of the same thing as Elemental Burst. It's 10 spaces. It's going to cost me, I'm just going to do the base, which is 5 focus, which means every enemy in a line of sight. For this attack, add +1 to the character's agility damage bonus for every 2 points of focus they spend. So that would be just 2 from the 4. So let me roll here for an agility attack. So I did a 9. Is a 14 hit on them?
Yes, you needed a 10 because he's frozen.
Then that is a 9 damage.
9. All right. You hit him. It's a solid hit. He's still frozen in place. He doesn't actually move out of that temporal anomaly. He's still stuck there.
See ya. I'm going to run the other way.
Continue running.
Hey, that's my line.
You said we this time. See ya was open.
I left it open.
I'm
Aaron.
going to make sure I try to remain at the back of the group just so that Stranglehold is in front of me with Elixir if anyone is to get shot.
Easy enough to do, for sure. Aaron, you're freezing your Spidey ability there. How long does that last? Do they get a save?
Nope. Concentration. I mean, on their turn, they can use their standard action to make a melee check. The target number 20. If they get a 20 or greater, then they break free. Otherwise, it lasts as long as I concentrate. And that's the only thing I'm concentrating on now. So,
Target number 20. Okay, so I only need to roll an 18 for that. We'll see how he does here.
I'm sure he's got it.
He's got it. It was close. It was close. It was a 14. 14, so +2, 16. It was a valiant effort. He's starting to break through. He's not getting out of it, but he's struggling against it. He's got movement back to him, but he just can't get out of this black hole of gravity that you've created that's just keeping him in place, just planting him there. That is his turn. However, Wraith, as you are going, you also see you were looking back, bamfing all over. You see not only from the crater that Bijou left, but also the purifier that's struggling. They have little badges on their shoulder that are now flashing red. They weren't flashing before. And then you start to hear an engine? No, a jet. It's smaller than a jet pack. And you look up at the sky and you think it's a sentinel coming towards you, but it's much, much smaller. And it lands directly ahead of you, going incredibly fast speed here. And you realize that this is a human-sized person in sentinel-like armor, and it's also painted with that white cross, like the purifiers. You hear the as his exoskeleton starts moving, and he just raises up a hand, and you see the Iron Man glow ready to blast at you. But it is your turn here. He rolled a 15, so he is not going first here.
Okay. So I will start my as my movement action, I will start my blink barrage to make it very difficult for him. And then with my standard action, I will use my ability to teleport micro particles out of his body, which is our flavored venom blast. So I will hit him, or try to hit him with that.
All right, and his agility defense here is 16.
I got a fantastic success on an 18. So
Beautiful.
That makes me happy.
Also, damage reduction -2.
Okay. All right, so that's 6 times 2, then 12 plus 3 is 15 times 2 is 30 points of damage.
You're times 2, 30 points of damage going through. Sorry, I was doing math. That's a solid hit. How would you like your fantastic success to appear here too?
I would like it. He wasn't suspecting to see this, and the parts of that I am teleporting away strip at his arm and pull his hand offline, maybe. So maybe he has trouble on his next attack.
Absolutely. You're teleporting and you just manage to catch part of his bracer, and as he's like aiming to fire out of there, it just gets pulled away. You hear the servos pushing and pulling the mechanics trying to fight against your teleportation. He has trouble. I'm marking that. Your movement, Len, are you going to run right towards him or teleport past him, or do you want to stay with your group?
No, so for my movement, I was using the blink barrage, so I'm teleporting rapidly around him. So he has additional trouble against me. So he actually will have triple trouble if he attacks me.
Okay. That brings us to Stranglehold. You see this. He's still very far away from you. Yeah. In fact, the other purifier is closer to you than him. He's closer to Wraith. What are you doing?
I think I'm just going to run, to be honest. I think I'm just going to spend my turn just moving, just to kind of catch up at this point. So I'll use my standard action to move, so I can move. I have a run speed of 4. So yeah, I'm just gonna spend my whole turn moving.
Okay. So you're going to be able to get a little bit faster than Bijou then until her turn, of course. You look down and in the grass blades, you hear the wee of Bijou running next to you as you're huffing and puffing carrying elixir. And that brings us to the armored purifier then, who will be blasting at Wraith. Let me pull up his abilities real quick here. However, he has snap shooting here, so he gets to make 2 separate attacks against Wraith. Is that every attack that has trouble, or just the first attack?
Every triple.
Attack?
He's got triple trouble. Triple
trouble. That's a 3. That's a 3. That's a 2. So he is 3, 3, 2. That's 8 plus 6. So 14 to hit you, Wraith.
That misses. My agility defense is 15.
Okay. Second attack here. It's going to be a 1, so it's not getting worse than that. All right, and that one was horrible. That was only a 10 to hit. So with your teleportation, these blasts are going wide. They're scattered across. They're going over Stranglehold's head, going past Ashfall. But your teleporting is able to pull his gauntlet. Just every time he fires it up, you teleport and just yank it. And that brings us to Bijou with Ashfall on deck.
So Bijou sees Stranglehold running by and thinks that seems like a good idea. And so Bijou is going to go, she's going to go running. And then she's going to see if she can basically kind of like run up and hitch a ride with Stranglehold. So there are like fewer numbers of us that need to like get through wherever it is that we need to get through at the end. And then she's going to like,
if Stranglehold's okay with it, you can get on him with just a single movement and you would still have your action because he only just caught up to you since you had super speed last turn.
So she's going to like crawl up and she's going to be like, did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I hit him with a tree, and then I looked back, and you obliterated him from existence.
Right? I don't know if I'll be able to do that again, but I'm gonna try.
No, I mean, when the Sentinels come over, we're just gonna let you take one of them on by yourself then, and I'll take the other 3. It'll be fine.
Oh, that'll hurt. That'll hurt, but I'm gonna try again.
No, do or do not. There is no try.
Can you say I am an FBI agent for me?
I am an FBI agent. I love that line so much in that movie. I love it.
I'm just
so
getting
much.
Keanu vibes.
I will literally do it. Well, that's what he is. That's the point. I will literally walk around the house and say that 100 times every day.
Sorry, Bijou, it's your turn.
I'm so
so
sorry,
you
Melissa.
jump up on Stranglehold,
No.
and it's perfect Marvel Comics where there's just tons of chatter happening in the middle of this fight. What do you want to do for your action?
So she's going to try again with that sniping. So she's going to try to stay in place this time and just sort of do a little jump in the air on Stranglehold's shoulder. And she's going to try shooting because there's still another target, right?
Yes,
guy
there's
I'm
a
fighting.
purifier that's frozen, and then there's the armored purifier that's fighting Wraith.
That armored purifier.
Okay. He's going to be harder to hit. He has an agility of 16.
Well,
Agility
we'll
defense.
see. That's not going to go so well. So
Can
You
I
rolled a
use
20
my-
last time.
Can I use my reaction here to help
Depends on
teammate?
what it is.
And I want to, with my hand, stretch and lift her up a little bit high so she has a nice, good, like vertical angle on the guy.
No.
I'm just gonna like take my fist, like I'm walking across a football field, and I'm just gonna go like that.
All right, so get an edge there, Bijou.
Perfect. I will try to re-roll the Marvel die and see if I can do better on that one.
If Stranglehold pierces his ear and then takes the earring out, does it grow back or does he still have the piercing?
I don't know. I've never pierced an earring before because when you wrestle, like you shouldn't have that stuff in because people will do awful things and rip it.
How'd you do, Bijou?
Still failed. Got a 15.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's it. I'm
You're
probably not going to
teleporting?
succeed again for like 5 rolls just to make up for that like amazing success.
Your energy blasts are getting very, very close. But part of it is because he's shaking around from the teleportation pulling him. And the other part is that he's just so heavily armored that even the ones that do hit don't seem to really land a striking blow. So that's your movement and your action. That puts us on Ashfall. You no longer have trouble. What are you doing?
Okay, so seeing that Wraith is fighting this armored one, and we've got the other guy who's still frozen, doesn't look much of a threat. So Ashfall is going to kind of try to create an elemental barrier around the armored Iron Sentinel. The issue is at rank 2, this covers up to 2 spaces across, vertically or horizontally per rank. So I can do 4 spaces essentially, which means there's no top on the top to stop him from flying back out. I can
Or
make a...
from just moving to the left or the right?
No. I can put him in a little box. I can do 4 walls. I just can't do a top.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And
Yeah,
he does have flying. I
Yeah.
established that.
Mhm.
So whatever you want to do.
I'll make...
Can
A
you
box.
manipulate it so that the only way is back? Like it's not
Yeah,
the top,
sure.
but
I'll
it's
do
the...
the box open on its side.
Or I mean, we've worked enough together, right? That
Hmm.
she might recognize that if she boxed him in, I might try to paralyze him.
I will box him in so Wraith can paralyze him.
Maybe.
Maybe. Fingers crossed.
Geometry nerds would say that you should make a pyramid, but that's not allowed in the rules.
Yes.
So go ahead and make your box. Spend your focus on that, and you got the
Mhm.
3 sides in front and then the top.
Steven, did you know the guy we replaced you with on Friday is a geometry teacher?
Shut up. Are you serious? He really is. He really is. God damn it. He's better than me in every way.
Oh, no. He's not good at it, but he is a teacher.
Neither am I.
Okay, if you would like, the target, you can make an agility defense against this, in which I would have to do an agility check. And if you get higher, you can choose what side of the box you're on. That's the risk to this.
So I make an agility check against your defense?
The character makes an agility check and compares the results against the agility defense of any target in the affected spaces. So your agility
Okay, so you're making the
my
check
agility
against
check, yes.
my defense.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so the agility defense is 16. So go ahead and make your check.
And I would like an edge from the audience, please, for this one.
Got it.
I think I need it. Oh, never mind. I rolled a 20.
Okay, guys, we got to get this cheating under wraps here. Like, this isn't like One Ring where it's just
I got 6,
oops, all
5, 6.
Gandies.
Great.
All right, this is
Let me just
unacceptable.
screenshot this. Here we go. Little agility
I
check.
know it's in demiplane. I'm gonna.
I know,
I'm
I can-
gonna take
I
a
can-
picture of
That's
this here
easy
too,
now.
right?
Just like
Mhm.
click.
Okay, Photoshop exists. You're not fooling me.
No.
You think
There
this
you
is something
go.
that I'm gonna do in like 10
You
minutes?
rolled
No.
18 times before the session until you got it.
Okay, so he doesn't get to pick what side he's on. He's in the box. He's in the box. He's what's in the box.
But there's still only 4 sides. on
He's
this
in
box,
the
right?
box. Yes. There's still
So
No
he-
lid.
there's still an opening, but he
And then I
doesn't get
keep
to
running.
pick which side he's on. Okay. So you keep running. You can't quite catch up to Bijou and Stranglehold there, but you're not too far behind. And Armored Purifier here cannot see any of you right now, but he can back up. That brings us to our other Purifier, who only needs to roll an 18. Did not get it. And that puts us back to Wraith. And Wraith, as you're running here dealing with this, you hear similar sounds to when this Purifier showed up, but on a much, much, much higher scale as one of these sentinels starts to move in.
Crap on a stick. Okay, so I pop above the armored sentinel looking down at me, and I'm going to attempt to paralyze him in place, spatially lock him in place so he never has line of sight on us as we run away. Is there enough audience dice for me to get an edge on this check?
Yes, there are. That would leave us with 4.
No, I'm just going to roll it straight. I'm pretty good on agility. We're going to see how it goes.
Well, now you're not going to roll now that you've said that. You've jinxed
Right?
yourself.
Why didn't it roll? Oh, there it
That's all right.
is.
We're all cheaters here. We know he's going to make it.
I got a 20 and a fantastic success. That's 50. God, I wish I was doing
You
damage.
did
'cause
not
that's-
get a 20.
I did. I absolutely did. I'm taking a picture of it right now. It's nuts. I wish I'd attacked him because that was 54 points of damage.
Oh, wow. That would have been really good.
Oh, I'll drop it in the Discord. Yeah, so he's paralyzed.
We're superheroes.
Man, God, I wish I'd attacked him. I really would have. I would have killed him, wouldn't I? 54 points of
Yeah.
damage. Yeah, that makes me
That's
cry
why,
on the
that's
inside.
why Melissa rolls all her rolls before we get on stream, so she knows what to do when she picks one of those rolls.
Demiplane
a
only
smart thing
keeps
to do.
3 rolls.
And you can see all my previous rolls there too. Agility 17, agility 18.
All right, hold on.
And
Let
a
me go through
20.
my reactions here. I got a list of powers. One of these has to help me somehow.
So how's your guys' night going? It's pretty good, eh? It's a good, fun game.
I am an.
Hey, you got a sentinel getting ready to drop on us. I don't think
I
we're in
know.
really good shape.
And we're also running toward the gate, which we were not ready to do yet because we
Mm-mm.
still haven't found the cure for ourselves.
Oh,
We got elixir. He is the cure.
He's a
I mean, we're not
That's what-
100%
yeah.
sure of
Reaction,
that.
nuclear
could
bomb
use-
bracelets on.
If I had line of sight, but I don't have line of sight, so I
I've-
can't use the reaction.
I've not given you line of sight. Yeah, that's the thing I did.
Yeah,
Paralyzed
yeah.
in
All
a
right.
box.
He is frozen in a box.
And
Yep.
then with my movement action, I teleport my movement distance towards the fence. Pointing all the while at the sentinel, going, shit.
Yeah, that's bad.
Stranglehold, you're up.
Okay. Can I get to the fence?
No, not yet. You can get to the armored purifier that's frozen.
Okay.
He's in a box. You can't see him.
Okay. So I can get to him in one move in action?
Yes, and then you can
Okay.
have an action after that.
Okay, so I'll run up to him. Then I
Hold
will...
up. Before that, Bijou, if you're going to stay on Stranglehold, we're going to say this takes your movement action as well, if you're okay with it.
Sure.
Okay. Otherwise, he would have to like spend an action carrying you or something like that.
Oh, yeah, no, that's better. Good.
All right. So both of you are up by the armored purifier then. What's your action then, Stranglehold?
So she's in her like tiny little state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So didn't she? But
Fastball?
like, I mean, like just in terms of like action economy, like she's used a power to get tiny. So I feel like the economy of things is like she has like paid for that size, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna come up to him.
It didn't cost her focus or anything to do that, and I think it would make sense for her to have to use her movement just to hang on as you're running.
Fair enough. Is he in a box that I can't get to him?
You can reach around the side. You can give him a reach around.
I mean, if anybody is good at it, it's Stranglehold. To be honest,
The arms.
Just smashing it.
I will. Yeah, I'm gonna reach inside, and I'm going to try to hurt him. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to use a grappling technique on him. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do grappling technique. Okay. And I get a, what's it called from one of my things? Ah! Oh my god, why is like the reroll thing is like so glitchy for me right now? It keeps trying to reroll like the whole thing. Yeah, it's kind of glitching out on me pretty bad. There we go. 15 to hit.
That's melee, not agility, correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
15 hits.
Okay. So he is then grappled. So he's grabbed. Then I will go ahead and use my reaction to spin and throw him at the sentinel.
Nice.
And let's see. So I do another melee attack. So basically, let me do that again. And I get the one free. Keep re-clicking. That is a 20 this time. So the damage on the first attack, he would have taken only 13 points of damage on the initial grapple. On the throw, which is a 20, he will take regular damage, which is going to be 25. Plus, he is knocked prone. Yeah, and that is that, because I didn't get any fantastic successes or anything like that.
So 25 damage from the throw.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was 13 from the grapple.
Did you... I'm sorry, I forgot to remind you. He's got damage reduction -2.
Okay. So... Okay, let me go back and do that then. So it would have been times 2, so it would have been 10. Okay, so it should just be 15 on the melee and on the throw, and then it would have been it would have just been 5 on the grapple. So 5 and 15.
All right. Sorry about
I
that.
think I did that right.
So he goes flying towards the
9
sentinel.
on the grapple. I apologize. 9 on the grapple and 17 on the and 17 on the throw. I'm stupid.
Got it. He's flying towards the sentinel. We'll say the sentinel. Is there math on how much damage the sentinel would take if it hits him?
It does not say. No. I think
We'll say it's half.
I think it takes like, a fantastic success worth or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think the
Yeah.
jetpack
I'll give you half.
explodes. The jetpack explodes
Yeah.
Right.
because it's cool.
Fireball. All
And
problem solved.
and after Stranglehold throws him,
Big
you're just going to see
explosion.
him go. And he's gonna be like, "Via con Dios," and then
So is the Sentinel flying or is the Sentinel on the ground?
The sentinel is on the ground right now,
Okay.
walking towards you.
Okay.
This armored purifier is now flying. And we're gonna say that he's spending his action before he hits the sentinel. He's spending his action to try and break out of the stasis he's
Oh,
in.
yeah.
He's got a much better chance of hitting 20. If I can, Jesus fucking Christ!
Steven forgot he rolls like Steven.
Triple one. Triple one.
Well,
So
that's
a critical fail.
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, one of them is a fantastic.
What were you saying about jetpacks there,
I
Strangle?
think jetpack
Yeah.
it should explode.
Describe it.
I think it crashes and the jetpack explodes right on the sentinel as like the jetpack hits the sentinel.
Yeah, he goes flying. He hits this very polished sentinel armor and just dents it. You see, you hear a yelp from him first, and a very sickening crunch, whether it's metal on metal or possible even bone. Something didn't sound good. And then he begins to fall, and you see that the armor of the purifier scratches against the armor of the sentinel, and there are just sparks flying, and that jet fuel immediately catches, and there's just another explosion. Just as fast as he got thrown into the sentinel, he's propelled away. This jet fuel falls across the ground, setting some of the grass on fire. There's still a gaping, flaming hole on the sentinel now as well. And you're pretty sure that purifier is not going to stand up.
Yeah, so Stranglehold turns to Bijou and he's like, "He's not coming back."
Me too.
Bijou's eyes are just big, like she's tiny, and her eyes are just like, ooh.
All right. That was his turn. That did not go well. Bijou, you were up.
Okay, so if I'm shooting, what am I shooting at now?
There's
Sentinel.
one frozen dude way over there, or the Sentinel.
Yeah, the frozen dude's
Sentinel.
not getting unfrozen anytime soon.
All right, Sentinel. So clearly, with all of the hanging on and everything that I've been doing, this is not a situation where I can be like sniping and taking aim and doing any of that. So this is just going to be a regular roll shot. I'm going to go ahead and take the 5 that Aaron didn't take earlier, and see how this does.
Wait, 5 dice? Just 1 die for an edge. Is that what you were talking about?
5
dice
dice for
for-
an edge.
For a karma, 1 for an edge.
Oh, well, I've been spending these down incorrectly.
No. I'm pretty sure we did say 5 for an edge. You're right. Yeah.
Start that math over again. Okay, that roll was a 16. It was a 16 to hit. Is that correct for agility?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me
For this sentinel.
pull this up real quick. I'm on
Sure.
the wrong sheet.
I haven't rerolled yet, so just let me know if I.
Demiplane load's a little slow, but
Or
we're
not.
getting there.
Yep.
16 hits.
Okay. Damage then is 11. So it's just
11.
A little pew-pew.
He does have a damage reduction. Somewhere. -2. So with your multiplier, instead of if you have like a +4 multiplier, it would
It's a
become a
×3.
×2
So it's time
×3. So it's just ×1 then. So it's
Okay,
just
so
your
it's
marble
agility is
die plus
2.
your stat.
So marble die is 3 times 1 is 3. plus 2 is 5. So 5
Right,
whole
so-
pew pew damage.
It's
Hey,
hard to
better than
hurt these
nothing.
guys.
Better than nothing. Because if the damage multiplier is reduced to 0, they take no damage.
Well,
True.
yes, that is better than 0.
All right, so you're firing at it, and you're aiming for that hole in the chest from the explosion, but with the movement as you're running and staying on top of Stranglehold, you're just hitting through the armor, and you're still piercing the armor, but you're not getting the solid hit that you were really hoping for. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
All right, that brings us to Ashfall.
Well, Ashfall is going to just, as they continue to run towards the fence, grab hunks of dirt from the ground and just throw them in an elemental burst at the sentinel that's coming towards them. And I will make it is a range of 10. Are they within range of me, or I guess before I move, would they have been within range of me?
They were pretty far away, but let's go with it.
Oh,
Roll.
okay. Whoops.
It's not like I can kill you guys with it anyways, right? What's the matter?
You'll roll well one day, Stephen. I believe in you. You got this,
Stephen,
buddy.
I keep
you
believing
were
it
breaking
too.
up there. I couldn't quite hear everything you said, but I feel like you were threatening us, and
So that's
80 damage, Melissa. Damn.
just does a 20 hit, Stephen?
That's going to be the highlight of my Marvel
20
career.
hit?
I think.
Sorry, Ashfall. How'd you do?
20
20 hits.
to hit. Do you have negative
DR
2?
-2. Yeah.
Okay, let me just add that, and then I will roll the damage. I got down to 0. There you
Oh.
go.
There you go.
There you
All
go.
right,
That's the classic.
So it goes the
Hmm.
distance, but it just doesn't have any momentum by the time it actually reaches there. This thing is so far away, and the armor is very thick as well. So it's just rocks bouncing off metal. You hear the cling, 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 but it doesn't look like it does anything more than scratch the paint job.
I feel like the Sentinel is approving of its own thickness too much. Let's keep going.
All right, that brings us to Purifier here. What are the odds he's going to roll a 20?
It could happen.
I believe
I got
in
faith.
that.
That's cocked. Got a 15. That's as close as he's going to get. So this Sentinel begins moving towards you again, especially towards Ashfall, because you're the closest one. You were throwing rocks at it. And it's taking step and step, and the ground shakes and shudders with every step. And then the hand raises. You see this beam charging up, going full blast. It's just about to emit, and the whole thing shuts off. The energy depowers. The hand kind of sags a little bit. The eyes kind of like start blinking wildly. There's still energy there, but it's distracted by something. It's not able to focus on you. You see it start jittering and shaking. Its targeting computer is messed up. And from across the grounds, you hear a deep, gravelly shout, "Ewa Nahu!" And you see Rockslide waving from one of the windows on the second floor
Sentos!
and pointing towards this converted TV dish antenna that is now jamming these sentinels. You all are able to get away at this point. You've defeated all the purifiers that are near you. The sentinels, even the ones that were not here, are now jammed. You have a solid 2 minutes, possibly up to 5 minutes to make your move to get out. Give me your plan. What are you trying to do here? We're going to move into a bit more of like a narrative theme where you have to do some skill checks to get away.
Build a ramp over that fence we're running towards.
I think we
Okay.
can all jump or teleport past it and ramp past it. But I think we need to grab a vehicle once we get to the other side, though. We don't want to be in the open.
So let's go ahead and take turns doing skill checks here. And we're just going to say you need X amount to get there. We're going to say I'm going to give each of you a skill check. If you each pass, you're going to get away scot-free. For each one of you that fails, there's going to be a little extra complication here in the chase. Ashfall, you said that you want to build a ramp to get everyone over. If you'd like to do an ego check for your powers, I believe it is.
Yeah.
You could give me one of those.
Okay. Ego check. It is a 19.
19. Yeah, that's plenty. So you all are running. Wraith, you're teleporting more than running. And then all of a sudden, this just perfectly angled earthen ramp just rises up out of the ground. It gets right to the angle where you're able to jump easily over this metal fence and hedges. And just as you're jumping, another ramp appears on the other side, and you either land or you do a baseball slide down, and you're able to keep moving. You're spotted by a few of these human protesters that are going around. They're kind of like Mule Team 6. These guys aren't in the best shape. They look like they're prepared for anything gear-wise, but they don't look like they know how to use it or that they're physically capable of keeping up. But they do see you. They start shouting. They start running towards you. What do you guys want to do next? Who wants to go next here?
I think Jericho, Wraith might just start blinking, teleporting around them, just smacking them, just kind of throwing them off their game to open a hole for everybody else to escape through the crowd.
Okay, I would like either you could make an argument for agility, vigilance, or logic, I believe, on any of those.
I'll
based
stick
on
with
what you're trying to
agility.
do.
I'll stick with agility.
So you're just trying to move so rapidly and quickly that they're not able to keep up with where the rest of the group is going, or with you, where you'll
Yeah. It's like he'll appear, he spins the guy by his shoulder, disappears, smacks the next guy in the head. That whole X2 Nightcrawler scene where he's just blinking in and out and just disrupting everybody as he goes.
Let's do it.
I got an 18, standard success.
18, beautiful. It works exactly like you described. You're spinning them around. A lot of them just lose their footing entirely as they're trying to catch up with you or spin around to spot you. A couple of them bang into each other trying to reach you. It almost becomes kind of comical in a way how laughable their attempts are to catch you, because you're trained for very tactical, highly dangerous situations, and these are just average guys basically trying to keep up with you, and it's just a completely different level of play as you're bouncing around. You have built up a ton of space for the rest of the group to get away, and you're able to teleport back to them. Who wants to go next? Stranglehold or Bijou? What would you like to add here?
So Bijou is thinking about trying to do sort of a version of suppressive fire. So kind of while Wraith is kind of confusing them, that she's just sort of kind of shooting her energy, kind of making noises so that like as they're kind of disoriented, they'll try to kind of move in a particular direction to kind of continue to kind of give us that kind of running lane. So she's not looking to damage anyone, just looking to kind of make a lot of noise in one way so that hopefully because they're disoriented, they'll avoid the loud noises.
I think that could work as either agility or vigilance, I'd say, maybe logic.
We'll just keep doing agility because
Fair enough.
it's about the same as everything. Oh, phooey.
Am I getting a
that's
complication finally? I can always count on Melissa to roll like me.
You're
Don't be so
welcome.
excited.
It's a 9.
Muted.
Can't hear you.
Yep, yeah. It's not like you hit anyone. You don't clip anyone or anything like that.
Okay, good.
But with the distractions that Jericho's already causing, it feels like you're just not able to add much more impact to it. You still distract a few people here and there. But on the other hand, your energy blasts are bright colors flashing through, and that almost draws attention to you as well. So you're hurting yourself as much as you're helping yourself.
Sure,
It just kind of becomes a wash at the end.
Yep.
And that brings us to Stranglehold. What are you doing to help the group here?
Yeah, I agree with Wraith. We need to get some wheels. So I want to look around for a vehicle that I can first lift to demonstrate my strength, and then we can drive away. If it's a
Is there
bus,
a
that's
bus?
okay, because I can lift that. Tank might be asking too much, though.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a vigilance or a logic.
I will.
Vigilance
Do I-
to like find the
do I
vehicle,
seem
or
like a
logic
logic
to
guy?
to
I
the
will
hot
go.
wire.
I will go vigilance. I will definitely go vigilance.
I think the
You can
net
give me a
logic
free melee to
score of the
carry it.
4 of us is like 2 if you added up all our logic scores.
We're not smart. We're not a smart party. Oh goodness. All right, vigilance. Okay. What's my target? I want to know if I need to spend a karma on this or anything.
12.
12. Okay, it is a 13, and for the first time tonight, I got a fantastic.
Yay!
Nice.
So
All
I
right,
find
so
a bus.
and it's got a
Whatever
bomb
you-
underneath it.
Thanks for
What?
that.
No, you got a fantastic
I don't know you,
success.
man. I don't know what you did. I'm sure you're very sorry. I can do this all night. I really could.
You got a fantastic success. Go ahead and describe it. You find the getaway vehicle, and you're able to get out cleanly onto the roads, onto the highways.
I think like the fantastic is probably just like it's one of those situations where it's unlocked. You know, it's like the classic situation in a movie, like where it's unlocked and someone just happens to put the keys like in there, or they left the keys in the ignition.
movies.
Yeah, whatever it might be, that's where it is. And so Stranglehold, he'll get in and he'll be like, let's go. And then he'll start kind of driving away.
What type of vehicle is it?
I want it to be something heavy so I can at some point throw it. So let's do like an SUV of some kind.
All right, it's an H3.
Or a
bright
minivan.
red.
Okay, yeah, that's cooler.
The 6 of you pile in. You've got Elixir and Prodigy with you. And you needed an SUV to fit you all in there. Prodigy is checking on Elixir as best he can. He doesn't really know much about medicine without being near a doctor. As far as he can tell, Elixir seems stable, but it hasn't been that long. It's only been a few minutes, really, since you broke out. I'm sorry, it's been about an hour because it took you a while to go through the wall. But Elixir is still unconscious, and Prodigy begins giving you directions as well. Get on the highway, start heading south, and you want to take exit 421.
Okay.
God, your mind reading ability is great.
Okay, 421.
No, I've been here before. We're going to the Hamptons.
The Hamptons.
What's in the Hamptons, kid?
A safe house, I guess. The Hellions' parents, they have a summer home, and they won't expect anyone to be there.
It's a good plan. I like it.
No, we'll figure out what's going on with Elixir too.
Yeah, we got to wake this guy up. If he's the source of the cure, we got to wake him up and get ourselves back to normal.
And I think with that, we'll pull back on this red Hummer, just barreling down the highway. No sentinels appear to be following you. It seems like you've gotten away clean, mostly clean. And we'll fade to black on that with you getting clear of the Stryker Institute, getting the Elixir. You still have some bracelets on your ankles, so we'll see how you take care of those. But that'll be something for next session. Let's do some shout outs here. Aaron, what's going on with Garblag?
All right. So Garblag this week, if you didn't get enough mutant fun and Marvel Multiverse, you can join me over tomorrow on Garblag at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as our group of British superheroes, part of Operation Pendragon, head out in 1943 to the Isle of Rhodes in an attempt to thwart the Axis supervillains and find out what the deal is with this supposed man from the future named Trevor Fitzroy. Then on Thursday, at the same time, you can join Mr. Garblag himself, Pete, as he runs a group of heroes through his own game, Heroic Deeds, and the classic Dungeons and Dragons campaign, The Red Hand of Doom, that he's converted to run in Heroic Deeds. Then next Tuesday rolls around, you can catch Millie at the same time, continuing her long-running Coriolis campaign.
Awesome. Kipser, what do we got going on here with Lollygaggers?
Oh, dare. Melissa, what do we have going on here at the Lollygaggers?
You know one game, Kipser, you can do Thursday.
On Thursday, we play Werewolf with everybody except for the reject in this party. And
Ouch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's so harsh.
Wow.
This is a way to make sure that Steven never throws
Yes,
it to Kipser
Kipser's
ever again.
Never doing plugs again.
and it's 7 p.m. PST. Central time is like plus 2 hours.
It's 9 p.m. Central. Yeah. Yep.
What's going on after that?
Thanks for playing, Marvel.
Steven, what are we doing
I wouldn't
on
know.
Friday?
I'm a reject.
Well,
On
Steven,
Friday,
you
though,
would know
what
what
are we
we're doing
doing?
on Friday because you actually are in that game. I know it's shocking.
Yeah, on
I know
Friday.
it's surprising for you to be in a game because you've been dropping out of all of them. But
I'm
you're
also
in
on
this
the
one.
Saturday game. All right, so that's 2 in a row there.
Yeah, for now.
Well, then take Friday and
Let's go see
Saturday.
what Justin's
Friday
schedule's
we're
like
playing
on
some
Saturday.
Delta Green, and I have single-handedly ruined the campaign and ruined New York. I'm kind of proud of that, really. Especially glad that this session we were able to establish that you are supposed to touch all the big red buttons, and if something's there, it's meant to be meddled with. So I'm morally justified there. And then Saturday, you can join us for some more Mothership. That's during the old One Ring slot, which I am very nostalgic for and very sad that we're not playing, but I'm enjoying Mothership. It's been a lot of fun. I am playing myself, and my trade is playing a twin of myself. So that really appeals to the narcissistic side of me, which is the controlling side of me. So join us for that. I think we have one more session of that, you said?
Yeah, we should be able to get it done this weekend. If not, we'll probably we have space for one more, but we're hopefully going to get it done this weekend so that my trade can see the finale.
And then nothing on Sunday. And then Monday, I believe you're back to Monster of the Week.
That is correct. Monster of the Week.
Monster of
I'm
the
running
Week.
that. Melissa is in that. A bunch of other our normal Monday folk. Yeah.
That brings us back to Tuesday then, where I'm gonna kill Ashfall just off screen. No reason
Yeah,
why.
that's a fun
Come back. We're just looking at her
All
mangled
right.
corpse on the ground. Everyone's crying.
It's gonna be Reservoir Dogs, where we just cut to and she's bleeding in the backseat.
It's like,
We'll
wow.
figure it out.
God, Tim Roth. Oh, gee.
Oh, good times.
Someone just puts a knife in the ear of Ashfall while we're driving in a vehicle.
Who
Right,
taught
so
Steven how to
We
do
all know
that?
who it would be.
You know,
I
that
was
sounds like a
updating,
very reasonable action,
Oh,
in
absolutely.
my opinion.
I was updating the Nightbot command for to reflect Aaron running the Marvel game, and I noticed that I actually had put an Aaron 2 Nightbot command in, which says, "Don't let Aaron sit behind you in a van."
Are you trying to take credit for that?
Yeah.
I put
Did
that
you put
in.
it in there? Then why didn't you say so?
I have. I
no
use it
idea.
all the
I have like
time.
1,000
I use it
commands. I
all
don't know
the
what's in
time.
there.
All I got to say,
Okay.
everybody, if you didn't watch the Hunter campaign, go back and watch it because it was
That was so much
fantastic. But Steven's character decided to drink a horrible
Yeah.
formula that we knew was
I
going to turn
started
her
it.
into
Knew
a
it was
monster.
Yeah.
And my guy is was a psychopath, so he killed her flat out.
Where
Just,
did you put the body?
Justifiably.
we
Shallow
we
ditch with
gave
the leaves.
we
Where's
we
the
ended up.
body, though?
I don't know, Melissa. Where did you put the
Yeah,
body?
where did we put the body?
Is it in a grave in the desert
Yeah.
next to a diner?
Yeah.
Could have been, yeah. Could have been.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
I don't hold
So
it
you're-
against you, Aaron, because I would have killed you if I could have.
I
You just rolled
know.
higher on the dice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yep. All right. Well, the other thing
That's
is
our
we should
week.
mention YouTube as well. Check out Adventures in Lollygagging. We got lots of games over there as well. Other games that are not necessarily streaming this week, but from Fried Empire is another Monday game we do. Aaron just started up a Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory campaign as well. And you can see old stuff we've done. Conan, you can see Haunted West, you can see Forbidden Lands, lots of good things as well. So all of that. Anything else, Steven?
Who are we rating? Via Con
we're
Dios. Ewa Nahu.
Via Con Dios, we're gonna raid Laugh, Love, Lindy. I am
Love, laugh, love.
I
Laugh,
am
love,
an
Linda.
FBI agent. Anyhow, follow the raid. We'll see you. Bye-bye.